So anyone who doesn't know Morgan, she is our licensed esthetician, acne specialist who specializes in doing our online acne consultations. She's been working with us for a long time. So since Art of Skincare way back had treatment rooms and we had an acne program. And Morgan worked there a long time ago back in Reading. We're not in Reading anymore. And so now she works exclusively with our online acne clients, and she does an amazing job. She's been doing this for a while, so she's got a ton of experience. So I brought her on today so we could get a little bit of her knowledge out here onto the acne chats, and so that we can review our acne program and how it works. We get questions, so many questions every day asking how the acne consultation works, how we're able to get you clear doing everything virtually, because it's a bit different than what most people experience when they get help from an esthetician. So today we're just gonna jump into all things acne consult. But before we jump into anything else, I would love for Morgan, in her own words, to introduce herself and tell you a little bit about what has drawn her interest into treating acne clients and why she loves it.
Okay, so I actually never ever imagined treating acne, which is funny. I had acne as a teen and I didn't know there were solutions for it. The solution was back then proactive, which doesn't really get you clear. So I got really deep into makeup and I got good at it. And so I thought I was just going to be a makeup artist and I was going to help people who had acne or didn't have acne cover it up. And then I got scooped up by Gina and she taught me everything I know. And I was like, wow, there's a different route. You can clear the skin. You can make changes in the skin. You don't have to cover things up with acne or with makeup, excuse me. So Gina taught me everything, and I worked in the studio back then. In the studio, I worked on healthy aging clients and acne clients. And then, yeah, when we went remote and we went online, I just specialized in acne, and I've been doing that ever since. I think I'm either reaching my 6th or 7th year with you guys.
Yeah, that's so amazing. Yeah, so for people who didn't know, Morgan and I used to work every day side by side. I would be shipping orders out while she was in the treatment room treating clients. So I definitely miss getting to see her every day. Now we only see each other over Zoom calls, which is very sad.
Yes.
But let's go ahead and dive into acne consultations. So the first question that we get a lot is the acne consultation right for me? So we have people come to us who have all sorts of different types of acne. Maybe they've used tons of different products and they're like, how do I know the acne consultation is going to work for me or is going to be right for my acne type? Can you speak a little bit to that?
Yeah, that's a great question. I don't think there's an acne type we couldn't solve. It really boils down to, are you willing to make changes? Are you willing to follow the advice and work with us for the amount of time it takes to get you clear? If you're willing to put in the time and the energy and the commitment, we're going to be able to get you clear.
Mm-hmm. And then another question we get is, okay, you're gonna throw a bunch of products at me. How is this going to be different than any other, product recommendation I could get elsewhere? And I think what you really, really bring to the table is you don't just talk about products.
Mm-hmm.
Can you tell me some of the other aspects that you dig into during the acne consultation?
Yes, so we're going to go into your lifestyle, your stress levels, and why you're stressed. Diet is, of course, a huge one. And your history, like what you've done previously for acne, because that can definitely affect you and actually make your acne a lot worse in some ways, make your compromise your barrier. So we have to know that. What laundry detergent are you using? Are you using fabric softener? Are you working out? Are you swimming in a chlorinated pool? There are so many things we dive into. And if we just threw products at you, a lot of people probably would clear. I don't know if they would stay clear. And then there's still the people that just would probably never fully clear.
Mm-hmm.
So we have to do it all. We have to look at everything. And I realize not everybody can make changes like perfectly, and that's okay. We're going to change the variables we can change. Like if you're on a medication and we know that it's probably triggering some acne, well, let's change the variables we can change. And it's very rare someone can't progress at all. There's only a few times that I've had a client who has something that's preventing them from really making wonderful progress. But even again, if somebody's on that medication or really stressed and, that's just where they are in life, we're still able to make some progress. So maybe you still get a few breakouts, but they're clearing really fast. They're way less inflamed, and there's way less severity in general.
Mm-hmm. So one of the key points of the consultation progress that a lot of people don't put as much effort into as we'd like is the consultation form. It's the first step in your journey. When you sign up, you get this long form with all of these questions. Some of the questions don't feel like they should even matter, but they're all really important to us. I want to ask you a couple of questions about the consultation form because there's just always so many questions about it. So when you're looking at a new consultation form, are there a couple of key places that you look to identify the causes of their acne?
Really, every question is important for its own reason, but a lot of people in the medications, in the history, they'll just list things they've been on, but I really want to know, when were you on it? How long were you on it? When did you go off of it? Because if it was like recent, we really have to know. Or even if it was 10 years ago and it was a birth control you were on for 7 years, then that's going to play a huge role in your hormonal balance and whatnot. So the medications is really important. Health conditions, I think anything is relevant is a good motto to go by when you're filling out the form. So anything from your digestion to PMS to migraines to insomnia, you can list that in there. I'm not your doctor and I'm not going to solve those things, but it's still like they're all telltale signs for me. So that kind of helps me understand what's happening to you on an internal level. Makeup is a big one. So if you say Bare Minerals foundation, I can't check that to see if it's safe because Bare Minerals has, I don't even know how many foundations.
That's so true.
Have to be so specific. That way I can check everything for you right then and there, and we don't have to like go back and forth to see what's safe and what isn't. Hair care, anything you're putting in your hair, I want to know about it. Same with your skincare, of course. Stress, we just need to know if you're stressed, and laundry detergent, fabric softener, all of those things. Yeah, anything that's in there, it's important. So just be as detailed as you possibly can. And if anyone's ever filling the form out and they felt like, I really wanted to include this information, but it wasn't specifically asked, send us an email. I have people that email me like a little mini story of their life as far as what's relevant to what they feel like has contributed to their acne. And that's great. And it really, really helps me. So don't feel like you're giving me too much information. People apologize. I'm sorry for this really long form. I'm like, I love it. Send me more.
Yes. So then we've heard a lot about the like red flags on the consultation form that make you go like, okay, the acne is probably connected to this or connected to that. For fun, can you tell me some of the green flags in a consultation form that you see and you're like, okay, we're gonna clear you pretty fast. Like this is gonna be a smooth experience.
I would actually say it's just boils down to somebody being willing. People that are really excited and willing to listen and be open to different changes in their lifestyle and their diet and adopt these things and have like a positive attitude like that will take you the furthest from anything else.
I love that. I love that because that's an easy thing to change. Is well, not always, but it can be fairly straightforward to just choose to enter into something with a positive mindset rather than entering into it thinking like this probably isn't going to work or this is just going to be like everything else.
Right, because sometimes I have clients and they'll they've had a lot of experiences. Most everybody has had like an extensive background in trying to treat their acne, or even working with other specialists.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of people will say, like, I can't use blank ingredient because I've used it before and it just didn't work for me. And I'm thinking the formulations are all different. Like the pH is different. Everything is so different. Like you can't take mandelic acid from this brand and always judge every mandelic acid from there on out.
Mm-hmm.
That makes it hard because then it's like narrowing down my choices for what I can do for you, even though I have like full confidence I can still use that mandelic on you.
Mm-hmm.
And 98% of the time it ends up being successful. And same with brands. People will say, well, I've already tried Face Reality and it didn't work for me. And Face Reality is so customizable.
Mm-hmm.
So I wouldn't give up on like one brand or one ingredient and then just block it out forever. Like just be open to whatever I put you on. But the great thing is that we're working together really, really closely. So if something truly doesn't work,
Mm-hmm.
we are in it together. I can always adjust something and change something as we work together.
Mm-hmm. That is so true. So then, after the consultation form is submitted and we move on to recommendations, I know that you not only send out your personal recommendations, but we have emails that go out with a lot of different resources for our customers. How important do you feel like your customer or your clients educating themselves on the different resources that we send them? How important do you think those are to clearing? Because there's one thing to follow the step by step that you send, but then obviously there's a lot of emails that we send on how to stay clear and keep clear. Do you find that the customers who really take the time to educate themselves get clear faster? Or how do you feel about that? That might be an easy answer, but
It's really 50-50 again. If you just like followed the routine and didn't follow anything else, there is a chance you might be a lucky duck and you might
mm-hmm.
get clear. But again, what people have trouble with is staying clear. So that's like the biggest emphasis I have is I want to get you clear, and I don't want you to have to return to our acne program
Mm-hmm.
for your sake. So the education is so important, and there's always a mixed reaction. I have people that love the amount of information I send. My emails are extensive, and then I have the people that are like, whoa, that was a lot. So save my email, make a folder in your email and save my emails in there so that you can consistently go back and reread them. And that is why we have those emails sent out, so that you can kind of be reminded over and over again. I'm not expecting you to read my email once and remember everything.
Mm-hmm.
It is a lot of information. So there's things that are a little bit more important, like if you're using a pore clogging makeup, that's got to go now.
Yes.
We can't wait 2 months down the line. You're not going to progress probably at all. And then there's other things that maybe it's just kind of like, as you feel comfortable, as you feel ready, you can adopt certain things. So for example, I have a section in the email about detoxification, and we're really toxic. The environment we live in our modern society is very toxic. Everything that we come into contact with is really toxic. So you have to spend some energy helping out your detoxification system. And I'm not expecting you to do all 10 options every single day, but maybe at first you do one thing, and then eventually you feel comfortable and you adopt another, and then you find like the ones that you really like that really work for you, you feel like make a difference, make you feel good, and then that's like part of your regular routine.
Mm-hmm.
So save my email, read it over and over again whenever you get a chance. Maybe you literally read it once every 2 weeks. And you know what? You're probably going to read it and you're going to be like, oh, I didn't even see that the first time. Or, oh, I forgot about that. I need to start doing that again. So it is a lot. So save
Mm-hmm.
the email so that you can just have it. And you know what? It might be useful in a year. You might be clear, and then you might reread my email and be like, oh, I forgot about this. I need to start doing this again, or whatever it may be.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just helpful for forever.
Yeah, I love that. I feel that I think When you read that email, if you feel immediately overwhelmed, just pick one of the things you feel like you can easily do. Do that for like 2 to 3 weeks, and once that's a habit, then pick the next one and do that one. Just choose
Yes.
one at a time because you don't have to feel overwhelmed. We don't want to make you feel overwhelmed. You can make
Right.
changes slowly over time. That comes to like every aspect of your life. You can just change one thing, stick to it,
Yeah.
pick the next thing.
Yeah, I had a client email me and she was like, "What can you tell me like the most important things that I need to do right now because I'm really trying to make sustainable changes?" And I was like, "That's amazing. That's what I want. I don't want you to do this for 3 months like to an extreme level and then abandon it once you're clear."
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, if you're feeling that overwhelmed, email me and I'll let you know like your top 3 things that you need to start doing right now.
Mm-hmm.
And then again, you just read that email and then maybe in a month you're like ready to start making your own bone broth and you're ready to start drinking that, or you're tackling some of the detoxification things, or you're ready to really start managing your stress and whatever that may look like for you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we really are here to like really hold your hand. Like, we're
Yes.
here. You can reach out
Yeah.
to us, contact us. We want to be your
Yes.
partners in this. We don't want to just
Mhm.
be up on our high horse telling you what to do. Oh, don't do this, don't do that, don't do that. Like, we want to work with you to make it work in a
Mhm.
reasonable way that fits your life and your overwhelm levels, because I think we're all a little overwhelmed with everything right now.
Yes.
Okay, so when it comes to the routine, someone started their routine, they're using it. Once folks get started on their routines, what are the common mistakes that you see folks make that keep them from getting clear faster?
Ooh, so you need to read my emails really carefully because I've had some people that they missed one seemingly small thing, and then 2 months later, we don't catch it until 2 months later. And I'm like, oh, that's why that you weren't clearing like I thought
Mm-hmm.
you should be. Like it seemed like you were doing everything. So we keep plugging along, and then we realize that that one thing that seems really small wasn't followed, and that held you back. But probably, luckily, this doesn't happen that often. But if you can't break up with your makeup and your hair care
Mm-hmm.
that's pore clogging, people, especially the hair care thing, they feel like that's not problematic for them. And occasionally, if you're just getting acne like right here once a month, that it's probably not. You're getting acne right here, down here, on the sides of your face, right here, down your neck, on your back. You got to change your hair care.
Yeah, you just have to.
And Scene is a really great brand, and it's like an enjoyable brand to use. But if that for some reason just really can't work for you, then we will find you something that can work for you. And I know that people feel like, well, I just bought this or I spent a lot of money on it. And the thing is, you also just invested in coaching and you just hired me to clear your skin. So I can't work with my hands tied behind my back. You got to give me as much as you possibly can.
Mm-hmm.
What I want people to do is put as much effort as you can into these 3 to 5 months. After that, there might be some things you can relax on once you've gotten clear. But what I don't want to do is only half-heartedly put some effort in, and then 3 months down the line, you're not happy because you haven't made the progress that you could have made.
Mm-hmm.
So it's for your sake.
Yes. That is very, very true. I also want to touch on, this is just a side note, but we have the acne checkup form as well, where you check in every 2 weeks. And I know in the past something that's always been really frustrating is when folks copy and paste their skincare routine into the spot where you ask them how exactly they're using their product. And can you explain why that is problematic?
Yes, I love this question. It is really important because like 90% of this is based on your home care while we're getting you clear. So if you copy and paste and you say, well, I am following your routine, just as you told me, I can't tell you how many times I then email someone and say, okay, but can you just list it out for me really quick? Just list out what you're doing for me. and maybe they're making a mistake that's really small and maybe not intentional, like they're not, using some other brand's products or something, but maybe they're layering something wrong, or they're not waiting long enough for this product to dry, or they never even ordered this one thing. They completely missed it or forgot it or something. And it makes a huge difference.
Mm-hmm.
So just spend I don't know, 3 minutes, 3 minutes to type it out how you are doing it,
Mm-hmm.
step by step, so that I can go off of what you are actually doing, not what you are supposed to be doing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's a kind of a funny story, and Gina's told it before, but she had a teen boy that she worked with a long time ago back in Reading, and she gave him his acne routine, and she asked him how he was using it, and he was like, "Oh, it's just exactly how you told me to use it. Yep, like exactly what you said. That's what I'm doing." And she's like, "Well, can you really tell me what you're doing?" And it turned out he was putting on his acne wash, and he wasn't washing it off. He was literally putting cleanser on his face and then not washing it off and going on with his routine. So I know that seems like such a silly mistake to make, but it
Right?
happens, and we do work with
Yes.
teenagers. So it's just so important to hear how they're using the products because it can just completely change the game. I know another thing is like most people just make assumptions like, okay, at the end of my routine, I put on moisturizer. And so they
Right.
do their full nighttime routine, they put on their acne med, but then they put moisturizer on top.
Yes.
And boom, right there, that's gonna keep you from getting clear. So
Yeah.
sometimes those little things that you think are just in your brain just make sense,
Right.
maybe they're not. Maybe they're
Yeah.
just slightly off.
Yep. That is a
Mm-hmm.
really good story to learn from, for sure. I had a client at Artist Skincare too, and it was a teenage boy. And I remember we were about to do a peel on him, and I said, "Okay, walk me through your routine." And I was thinking, I don't remember exactly what he said, but it was not even close to what we had prescribed him. And I'm thinking, oh, no wonder you're not clearing. Your poor
Mm-hmm.
father is putting all your money into this, and you're just not going to clear. Continue that.
I know it's terrible to laugh because I'm sure that kid was really frustrated and their parents were frustrated, but you kind of have to look back at those things and laugh a little bit because it's just life.
Yeah.
Okay, so we have we have two before and afters to show you guys, and then we're gonna move to Q&A. But we wanted to show you guys these really quick. These are like just inspiration. This is Skinspiration. Okay, so we have these two cases. These are both clients treated by Morgan, completely virtually doing lifestyle changes, using products. We're not going to go into the nitty gritty products that they used because it's different for everybody. If you
Yeah.
like saw someone's face, saw that they got clear, and you just used exactly what they
Yeah.
used, it is probably an 80% chance those products aren't right for you and it's not the right
Yeah.
routine for you. So
Mhm.
really that virtual consultation is so important to getting the results that these folks have on the screen. So we just wanted to show those to you. These are just amazing results. We're very, very proud of them. I'm very proud of Morgan and the amazing program that she runs. So thank you everyone for joining me. Thank you, Morgan. And we will see you all in 2 weeks. Bye
Bye.
everyone. Happy almost Thanksgiving.